No more games, no more past references, no more steps in the right direction, and most importantly, no more mistakes. If there was ever a time for Sega and Sonic Team to lock in, this is it. The Game Awards. The show that everyone looks forward to at the end of each year, no matter how much they like to complain about who wins what award or what games get announced. This event, and almost all of the things Jeff Keighley can get his mitts on, have been Sega stomping grounds for some time now, and I doubt anyone expecting this year to be different with Sonic's 35th anniversary being right around the corner. That's not all though. They have some big shoes that need to be filled, since it's been about 3 years that Sega showed their ass with the Mega Game Initiative showcased at TGA 2022. Shinobi's already been released and nominated for an award at this year's TGA, but we still have Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, and Golden Axe, just to name a few, that still need updates on how their development is going and what their eventual release dates are. It's actually very wholesome to see because since that same 2022 trailer, so much goodwill has been built up and delivered upon. Frontiers came and went with its DLC, we got the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Superstars, Shadow Gens, and Crossworlds, but outside of that Sonic sphere, you have Persona 3 Reload, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refantasio, Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, and you get it by now. These are all games that people have genuinely cared about and that have reviewed highly, and that is precisely why so many eyes are on Sega specifically for this event. The comeback this company has had will be studied for generations to come, but even after all this glazing I'm doing,
it's not enough.
I need all the stops pulled out for this bad boy. Give the people the last push that they really need to fully be back onto the hype train because it's leaving the station soon. I can feel it in my bones and the proof is in the pudding. For anyone that missed it, we had both The Weeknd and Thundercat confirm that they are involved with something related to Sonic, other games under the Sega umbrella, or both honestly. And it had Twitter in a tizzy pretty much for the entire day and then some. You have the #1 artist in the world possibly coming together with a world-renowned bassist who both have worn their love for Sonic on their sleeve. Bro, sign me the fuck up. I don't need to sell y'all on The Weeknd. At least I don't think I need to. But if you want a sort of vibe of what to expect from Thundercat, check out these songs and you'll hear a lot of that early funk, jazz, R&B, and rock that used to be in the early Genesis titles. But moving on, however. Streets have been real loud about there not even possibly being an anniversary Sonic game coming out next year, which makes sense when you really start to peel back the layers. Frontiers was supposed to drop in 2021, but got pushed back. Forces was pushed back, etc. So to see the next mainline game not even drop in the year of our Lord 2026 wouldn't be too surprising to me. But what people have been whispering about online instead of that are another side game in addition to a remake or remaster. And y'all know me, I want it to be a fighting game, but we're still not at the point where a risky move like that can be taken just yet. Plus, the team dropping another competitive title only a year after Crossworlds wouldn't be the brightest idea financially, since one game would inevitably cannibalize the other, especially with Crossworlds being as huge as it is. I don't think you guys understand how massive that game really is. But if not that though, what does that leave us with to get the remake or remaster treatment? Well, no adventure games for the foreseeable future as the head honcho himself has said, so that only really leaves 3 plausible options. Let's hit these from least likely to most likely. A port or collection of the GBA trilogy, and Battle, is at the bottom of the list unfortunately. These are least likely for one simple reason. Even though those games reviewed decently enough amongst players and critics alike, only a vocal minority truly wants them. Plus, with as slippery as those games are to play, and with how many death pits you have, having them on modern controllers sounds like a death sentence low-key. If they were to get ported over to a modern console though, it'd be Nintendo Switch Online. The games debuted on Nintendo consoles, so it makes sense to have them return there as the Switch is the last true, I hope you can see just how big these quotation marks are, handheld left. By the way, you should check out the video I did on this exact subject, it's pretty good, but anyway. You wouldn't have to worry about stretching the aspect ratio that much, as chances are the game would be played in handheld mode anyway, but it'd also be a solid full circle moment too for the series. Then we have the top 2 contenders, and this could truthfully go in favor of either one of these guys. Sonic Heroes and Sonic Unleashed. You've heard it before, but just let me explain. Heroes, perfect opportunity to brush up on the extended cast. We've already seen moments of this with Sonic Superstars and Shadow Generations. Obviously, one of those is more detailed than the other, but you get what I'm saying. Unleashed. Perfect opportunity to show people that you've mastered the art of combat that you revisited in Sonic Frontiers. 2 titles. 2 different avenues to show growth. Which do you go with? I doubt Sonic Team is intimidated by Unleashed recompiled, so we can throw that argument out the window. But they cannot completely ignore a near-perfect remake of a game that the masses have slowly been turning around on. If the game that was already remade by fans to be better is remade by the official guys to not be better, Heroes is admittedly a safer bet that could also benefit from the recent developments both Frontiers and Shadow Gens have made to the overall feel and combat. But the one thing that worries me is what they'll do with anyone that's not Sonic, Amy, Tails, Knuckles, and or Shadow. Do they throw out the movesets these guys got in their respective games, or just revamp the already established movesets in OG Heroes? Only time will tell. Unless they throw a complete oddball at us like revamping Sonic 06 of all things. God, I would love that so much. I have a pretty good notion that we're getting hit with one of those aforementioned remakes and maybe a 2-minute trailer of whatever the next Sonic game is, Frontiers 2 or whatever you want to call it. Should it be that mainline sequel? I need it all. Gameplay, CGI trailer, new model, I don't even care about models, but fuck it. New outfit, or at least showing up that you can customize full outfits this time around. It's around this time of year that being a fan of SEGA as a whole is just so exciting, especially if you've been with the company from its not so great era to now. Sonic is a respectable IP again that has the entire world eagerly awaiting to see what happens next. The people over at Atlas have put out banger after banger with remakes and new IPs alike, and so many of these older IPs can finally stand on the backs of everything that the folks of SEGA have been crawling through hell and high water to return to. While there is a chance that we don't see anything related to Sonic's next mainline entry, you can be sure that something will be shown off by SEGA that will have your attention at the Game Awards. Plus, if it makes you feel any better, one of the greatest games of 2024, Sonic X Shadow Generations, was revealed at the end of January 2024 in the State of Play, where the Fearless Year of Shadow campaign was announced. Depending on who you ask, 2025 was kind of a lull for SEGA, as they chose to focus more on re-releases, DLC, mobile titles, and spin-offs, with Crossworlds and Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii being the heavy hitters of this year. What I'm trying to say at the end of this though, is that all signs point to SEGA possibly sealing the entire show announcement-wise. Hopefully award-wise, but that's a tough category. Whether it's Sonic, Persona, Yakuza, or the many older titles getting the spotlight, the Game Awards will shape our 2026, and hopefully, it's for the better. I'll be returning to the streaming world with a TGA stream to capture everything in its entirety, so keep it locked in with me, twin, and be sure to let me know what you're most excited to see at this event, SEGA related or otherwise. I honestly hope we get some Okami 2 footage. That would be fucking fire. Till then though, y'all take it easy.